Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or whichever placement brought you here that wanted to pop up, so we're going to take it. Welcome to your reading for the month of September. We are going to start this reading by asking about the dominant themes that are showing up for you this month. If this part of the reading resonates with you, sounds like your story or something that you want to hear about, then you know that you are at the right place. If it doesn't, please go ahead and check out a different placement. Now, we will also be getting into the energies that are showing up for you and your deep within, how you are showing up to the rest of the world. Wow. And then anything else that is coming your way. What else? Oh, yeah, anything else that you might just need to know at this time, all right? Now, yeah, where do we start here, Capricorn? I guess the dominant themes, there you go. Now, you do have the sixth house and the ninth house both showing up for you here, all right? Now, I'm going to say you could be even experiencing some conflict between and it's funny because I'm getting this is like the first part of the month and the second part of the month, okay? Because the sixth house is ruled by Virgo, so I feel like during that first half of the month you might be very focused on establishing a routine. Some of y'all could even be starting a new job or considering looking for a new job or something, or your job could need your attention, or your work or your career, okay? Like, what do you do for a living? All right, is something that I'm seeing here. um but you could be needing to bring balance to your work and life situations, right? So like you might be establishing new routines, you might be setting some boundaries, okay? The sixth house also denotes like your health, so what you're doing for your health could be taking a lot of your attention, like you could be establishing some routines that are, to help you improve your health, that to help you improve your work life balance, to help you I'm just seeing this as you developing kind of like a sense of diligence throughout this month, or like the first part of the month. I'm gonna say 21 days for some reason that came out. So is it 21 days that it takes to like build a habit or something like that? So some of y'all might actually be like checking it off on your calendar, like day 1 of doing this, day 2 of doing this, right? Something I'm gonna say about the sixth house energy is that it can be very inspiring when it first comes in the sense that it's a doer, right? It's like, let's take care of business, let's address these things. But a big theme with the sixth house, I would say, is sustainability, all right? So be sure that you're being very real with yourself and mindful with yourself about creating habits and routines that are sustainable. I feel like that is something that you could be focusing on, right? Like, how can I start incorporating this into my routine where I can keep this going through a long time, where I can actually build this habit, right? Like, I feel like you're maybe doing some trial and error situations where you're like, okay, you know what, that was too much, so I'm going to take a step back. Or you know what, I'm going to incorporate this other thing instead, and kind of just add on things that, like, I don't know, like, I go back to this, it's just gonna be like I'm seeing like a trial and error thing, but I do see you like persevering through this. I feel like you're in a very active mode, taking care of business, okay? But I do feel like you're being warned around not doing things to the point of exhaustion or taking on too much, because it can, like, you can feel very inspired and like, yes, I can do all these things, right? Like, maybe you're like, yeah, I can go for a run every day before work, and then I'm gonna go and cook a meal, and then I'm gonna like this, and then I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'm gonna, la la la, whatever, right? And you're like feeling good for a bit, and then it ends up exhausting you, right? So how can you do things in a way that's sustainable, right? Like, maybe you're not going for a run every morning, maybe you're going for a run every other day or once a week, and the other, like, I feel like you're checking things out, try things, check in with yourself about what actually feels good, because I do feel like you're being warned about not taking on too much, okay? Now, I do see the ninth house calling to you. And I feel like this is some of the energy that can come in a little bit later in the month, whereas some of y'all could even be making some travel plans. You could be considering taking a vacation. You could be considering expanding your knowledge, exploring new philosophies. I'm gonna say I do see travel. So if you're not traveling, some of you could be traveling, and I'm seeing this as a later in the month energy. I feel like you could be starting to consider how you can travel or the steps that you need to take. I go back to this, right? It's kind of like you're thinking about what are the steps that I need to take to get myself out there? What are the steps that I need to take? I'm going to say some of y'all could be considering going back to school and learning a new subject. Or if it's not, going back to an actual institution, you could just be incorporating learning about something to your everyday life, right? Like you might be, you know what, I want to read this book on this subject, or I want to take an online class, or I'm gonna watch all these videos about this topic, and you're like, I'm gonna do this once a week, or I'm gonna do this twice a week, or something like that. But I do see you learning, exploring, traveling, expanding your knowledge throughout this month. I do feel like you have a lot to gain through doing this exploration. Like, and I'm gonna say, don't limit yourself, with the ninth house. Don't limit yourself to learning about things that you want to learn about or that you think are beneficial. I'm seeing it as like exploring like a bunch of topics, explore an array of things. Maybe even, if you end up going, maybe you go down a rabbit hole, and maybe you do start, right? Like you're like, I'm gonna watch a video on something that I really care about, right? And then you kind of go on a rabbit hole or a side note, and then all of a sudden you're learning about something you'd never even heard of, or a place you'd never even heard of, or whatever it is. And it's like, allow it to be. Just kind of expand your knowledge base, allow the knowledge to come where it wants to come from, so I don't know, I feel like that seems like it would be a supportive energy for you at this time. And I do see you like gaining the energy or gathering the energy like to do that, but be mindful that you're not, like I see you especially starting off with a lot of energy. So just kind of make sure that you're guarding it, you're keeping it safe, that you're not over expanding it, okay? But yeah, let's see. You do have, I do see you. I want to kind of ask about this because you have the Two of Cups, and then you have the Two of Swords showing up here. I'm going to say, for some of you straight up, you could have choices to make around your love life, okay? You could be choosing between two people. You could be choosing between, do I want to pursue this connection? Where is this connection going? You might be deciding if you want to be living the single life and date a lot of people, or if you want to commit, or if you just need some time for yourself. Okay, like I do see choices around your love life being something that's highlighted this month. And I'm going to say, I see some of y'all could be asking yourselves, do I have room in my day-to-day to make time for love, right? Like, because you might be very closely looking at your routines and your day-to-day and saying, hey, like, I haven't, like, I'm seeing this as you wanting to create space for that, okay? But for some of you, it could vary. You might just be like, nope, not for me, not right now. But for those of you that are looking for it, or for more intimacy, more connection, something like that, I feel like you're looking back at your routines, your day-to-day, and you're saying, you know what? Where can I create this space, right? Like you might be setting up a date night with your partner because you're like, hey, we haven't, made time for each other. So let's make a date night, right? Every, third Thursday of the month or whatever, right? Or, like every 2 weeks I'm gonna go on a date, or I'm gonna, like, I don't know, I feel like you're creating that space, that room, so that you can bring balance to your connections and your situations. Okay, for others of you, I do feel so like that's on the love level over here, right? For others of you, you could be making choices, or really considering how you can bring balance to situations, just like with your friendships, your partnerships, your co-workers, things like that. All right, I do feel like you could have some choices to make around connections as well. Like, I don't know, like for some of you, you could be choosing to detach from certain people because you're like, oh, this is out of balance. For some of you, you might be needing to talk some things out and saying, hey, like, how can we resolve this? Or how can we work through things? How can we be there for each other? Or yeah, but I do feel like that there's a conversation kind of that needs to happen. I don't know, the Swords does talk about communication, so I do see you talking it out before you decide to make any moves, or before you actually make your choice, right, about what it is that you're going to do in your connections. I'm gonna ask for any clarifiers, just anything else that we need to know about this situation in particular. Like, I want to know about these Two of Cups and Two of Swords here. All right. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna say, for some of you, you could be feeling a little bit disappointed or disillusioned. So this Four of Cups, this could speak to your own energy of just like you feeling a little tired, a little depleted, a little like I'm gonna say some of y'all could be missing opportunities because you're just kind of kept to yourself. You're not putting yourself out there. For others of you, you could be dealing with somebody that you're disappointed in. Like, you might be feeling like, this person's a little bit emotionally withholding, or I don't feel like this person is satiating my needs here, and it's leaving me disillusioned or disappointed about our connection here. So I do feel like, and this can pertain to anything. It could be like a romantic situation, right, where you're just like not feeling fulfilled, but it could also be like a friendship, a family dynamic. It could be, it could even be like work related, I would say, right, where you're feeling like, oh, like, I don't feel like these people have my back, or I don't feel supported, or something like that. But I do see, yeah, actually, let's get into the next part and ask, for your advice on how to best navigate this energy. All right. Because like I do see, some emotional withholdment, and I'm going to say, for some of you, I feel like you're being emotionally withholding yourself. So you could be experiencing these things, but you're not necessarily talking about it, or you're not really sharing it with others as well, right? Like, you're kind of like, like, I'm unhappy, but I'm not letting it out. So, like, what is that telling you is what I'm going to ask, all right? Okay, let's see. How can Capricorn best navigate these energies that are showing up for them throughout September? Yeah, goodness, fucking golly. Sorry, Capricorn. Sorry. What? What is this? Okay. Look, you have the Ten of Cups reversed, you have the Three of Swords reversed, you have the World reversed, all right? And I'm going to say this is advice. So we asked for advice for how to best navigate the energy. So I'm not saying this, because I'm going to say, right, Three of Swords, heartache, Ten of Cups, happiest card in the deck, right? But it showed up reversed, the World reversed, it's like, okay. But look, you have a level up coming. You're growing, you're closing out some cycles, you're growing here. There's something that you're ending, there's something that you're working through here, but you're showing some resistance, like that's why I feel like this you becoming very disciplined, this you really taking care of your needs, taking care of yourself is going to be so important, because as you do that, it's just going to help strengthen you. It's going to help, kind of help you become stronger, as you're kind of moving on, charging forward over here, but I do see you healing throughout this month. Some of you could be healing connections, right? Because I do see you in this energy of wanting to bring balance, wanting to heal, wanting to problem solve, but I do feel like it's going to take a lot of vulnerability. And in order to bring balance to situations and truly heal, I love that the Three of Swords showed up reversed and in your heart space, because the way that I'm seeing this is you working through some feelings and swords, okay? Communication, talking about it, you being willing to talk about your feelings and put them out there in order to problem solve. I feel like you're saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to share this. I'm going to actually talk about it because that it's what you need to do to actually get the results that you want, so I do see you being more emotionally open and proactive this month over here. All right. And I'm going to say, like, feeling not afraid to discuss what doesn't feel right, with the Ten of Cups, showing up reverse, like there could be something that fell apart. I go back to this, the sense of dissolution. For some of you, it could be even bigger than I initially thought. Like, there could be something that's falling around you that you feel like, oh, like, my family dynamics are just not working out, or, these circles, or these things that used to make me happy, like these big things, these big ideas that are falling apart around me here, that are demanding your attention, that are saying, hey, pay attention to me because this is not working and I want you to talk about it. right? I want you to get real about what's not working. I feel like you're, you know, right? Like you're balancing these things that aren't working, by and your feelings about it, right? By actually like giving them space to say, you know, like if you're unhappy, why are you unhappy? What is it that's causing, you know, this frustration, this heartache? What is it that's causing this pain? And you're allowing these things to come out, you know. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, Capricorn, goodness golly, you know. And I'm gonna say I feel the resistance, you know. I feel the resistance of talking to a Capricorn about sharing their feelings, um and kind of putting things out there, you know. But I want to remind you that you are the goat, right? Like you are the greatest of all time, but you're more than a goat. You are the sea goat, okay? So what am I talking about here? You know, with the goat, yes, you know, we think of like, you know, the mountain climber, somebody who's very determined, very very disciplined, very like, I'm gonna keep charging forward. You know what, I climbed the top of this mountain, well, I'm gonna go to the next highest mountain, right? And like you're super on top of it, right? And sometimes we forget about the sea goat, the sea part of the sea goat, you know, the part that can also delve deep. And I feel like that comes from a truly evolved Capricorn, right? Like this recognition that delving into the deep waters, you know, like delving into your deep emotions, actually recognizing your feelings, working through your feelings, that's self-actualization. That is you growing, that is you developing, that is you evolving over here, right? I feel like when Capricorns allow themselves to be this high mountain climber and this deep sea delver, like that's when you truly come into balance. That's when you truly come into your genuine strength here. And I just want to remind you of that because I was getting some resistance to the opening up of the emotions and some resistance to the delving deep into those feelings that may really be plaguing you at this time. But I do see this recognition of yourself as truly bringing expansion, truly helping you, right? Like you're not just this disciplined being who's really good at taking care of their material realm, right? Like you're also emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent, and you're explorative, and you are, you know, like just taking care of so many things and really bringing balance to your world here. Goodness golly, the message, I don't know, the messages just stopped. I felt like, I don't know what I was channeling there. I don't know what I just said, but I hope that there were messages for you there, Capricorn. All right. And then whew, my brain just stopped. So I hope that there was something in there for you. All right. Goodness golly. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of extra cards here. Anything else? Anything else that Capricorn needs to know throughout this month? All right. What wants to show up for you? Wow. You have rest, you have routine, you have slow down, all right? Yes, okay, look. With both rest and slow down showing up, I'm going to go back to this. I feel like you're going to feel so inspired and initially energized to take care of so many things, but remember to slow down, that you do not have to take care of everything at once, okay? Make sure that you are resting as much as you are working. Make sure that you are giving yourself the space to take a step back when you need to. Your routine could need your attention very much, you know. Sixth house routines, okay, we talked about it at the beginning, so this is just information that is being confirmed here. All right, Capricorn, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up with my little deck of self-care. I'm gonna say that if you are good on self-care, you know what you need to do. Wow, okay, this fell and I saw it, so I'm gonna take it. Okay. If you're good on self-care, if you know what you need to do for yourself, great, wonderful. You know, and if you want to leave me here, thank you for being here, thank you for sharing your energy with me. Let me know if this message resonated. Let me know if there was anything in here for you at all. I would absolutely love to hear from you. But if you are interested in some self-care suggestions, you know, I'm gonna say, you know, I created this deck for myself when I was really struggling with the concept of self-care. So I hope that, you know, it might be supportive, that it might bring some helpful messages. Okay. But yes, all right, you do have, I'm gonna say, I'm seeing 616. So for those of you that do spirit numbers or angel numbers or anything like that, maybe you want to look into 616 and the energy and see if there's any additional messages for you. If you do, I would love it if you commented if there was any message for you in it, and if you share what the message was, that would be so awesome. You do not have to, but I would really appreciate it. All right, 616, what does it mean for you? And then you have, all right, so sorry, as far as self-care, all right, let's get into this, okay? I'm going to start over here with eat red, okay? So eating red food, okay, well, actually, let me talk about the energies and then I'll get into the actions, okay? First of all, your root chakra, your foundations, your stability. I feel like that's what you're working on, over here with the sixth house, the routines, everything that we talked about, all right? A way to kind of activate that is eating red foods, all right? And anything naturally red, so apples, pomegranates, tomatoes, red berries, adding paprika, adding cayenne, peppers, like anything into your food and what you're consuming, that's naturally red. That could be a good way to get you started into that energy of paying attention to your root chakra here, okay? You also have talk and you have look for cute stuff. Okay, so talk about your feelings, talk about what you're processing, especially for those of you. I'm hearing talk therapy for some of you. Okay, so maybe going to therapy or counseling could be something that you're exploring this month. All right, but particularly those of you that are carrying a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, there is something here about you bringing it out and allowing yourself to speak these truths of the things that are causing you to be dissatisfied, because there's something about you processing through talking over here. All right, if you have friends that you can talk to, call them, ask them, hey, can we schedule a time to talk? If you really feel like there's nobody that you can talk to, leave yourself a voice memo and then listen to it back later. All right, but allow yourself to speak these things and let it out. All right, and look for cute stuff. Some of y'all could be feeling like you're going through some big shifts. You could be feeling like there's a lot on your plate. You could be, I'm going to say, you could also be throughout this month getting rid of things that no longer serve you. And it could start off really small. Like you might be donating old clothes. You might be getting rid of trinkets around your house that you're not using. Things that just, that you're like, not for me, not anymore. I need to let this go. Okay. So you could be feeling like, there's some shifts here happening. All right. And then look for cute stuff. Remember that amidst the chaos, there's always beauty. Okay. So especially when you're feeling very overwhelmed or you're feeling mad at the world, or you're feeling like everything is unhappy, or like if you get those moments, right, like take a step back, go on your phone, make a list of things that make you smile. Maybe it's puppies and kittens, maybe it's googling harvest mouse in a tulip flower. All right, maybe you find beauty in gory beautiful things, like I don't know, but whatever it is that you find beauty in, seek it out. Okay, make a list of those things, and then when you're feeling like overwhelmed or stressed, look at your list and then kind of remind yourself of what those things are. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there, Capricorn. I hope that there were messages for you in this reading. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful month of September, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.